Hey, everyone. I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you've had an amazing week. For those of you who tune in every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, welcome on back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. If you are just tuning in for the very first time, welcome. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. We are here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. And if you're tuning into the replay on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube page, be sure to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the page. So, welcome here. Let me know where you may be tuning in from today in the lovely chat here. And if you're new to Mental Health Moment, I'll just tell you that I reside in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. And Mental Health Moment is all about how do you work on becoming the best version of who you are so you can show up powerfully for yourself and for the people around you. Love spending this time with you all again every week. I do a couple, if you're new to Mental Health Moment, I do a couple of quick announcements and then go into a couple of tips that, again, is just designed to help you through this journey called life, the crazy ups and downs, right? Called life, and help you in your mental health and wellness journey. But again, let me know where you're tuning in from in the lovely chat here. Um, let me find it real quick. I will share with you all a link that I'm gonna grab really quickly here for you all. Okay, there we go. And I've shared it with the last couple, well, a couple announcements today, but I shared it with the last couple, I think, mental health moments. But I'm super excited that literally in a couple days, I'll be speaking at the Leadership Experience Tour. It is near Detroit, Michigan. It's called Troy, is a city. So if you are in the area, would love to see you. If you're not in the area or do not plan to be in the area, then you can actually get a virtual ticket. So I'm going to put the link for it here in the lovely chat, where you can grab your tickets. It's not too late, but the window is closing very soon because it's obviously coming up here. It's this Saturday, August 8th. There'll be myself and different speakers in different industries. But essentially, I will be talking about mental reset. I'll be sharing my mental reset framework. And I would love to have you there. So again, I put the link in the chat. Feel free to register. Again, when you click on it, you'll see, but you have to choose virtual ticket if you're not planning to be there in person. Obviously, it says in person or virtual. So whatever works for you. My other announcement, gosh, I have so many, but I'll save some so that I'm not overwhelming you all. But my other announcement, I also announced last week as well, is that if you didn't hear last week or you weren't here last week, I have a new mental reset community. You can get to that community. It's completely free at takeyourmentalreset.com. So takeyourmentalreset.com. It's very long overdue, you all, because this is actually year 10, which is completely insane to me. In the year 10 years, I feel like flew by, but this is year 10 of Mental Health Moment. So maybe in celebration of that too, I started a new community. So in that said community, we basically practice what we talk about, right? A mental health moment as a community. It's literally brand new. I just announced it last week to you all. So there's a couple members in there, like literally brand new. But be sure to join. It is growing, of course, here, but we talk about mental health moment. And then there are just some activities to really make sure you're connecting with others, taking care of yourself, and also things that you can do and think about that don't take a whole lot of time. Because I don't know about you, but I think we're all very, very busy here, right? So again, Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Let me know where you are tuning in from today in the chat. I will be, well, of course, I just told you about that event this weekend. So I'm literally leaving tomorrow, you all, and I still have to go back. Yes, I'm admitting that I'm a last minute packer. Unfortunately, I have a lot to pack. So, well, after I get off this live, I will be finish packing my bags for tomorrow morning's flight. But nonetheless, again, I would love to see you there if you're if you're in the Detroit area. If not, you can grab a virtual ticket. I put the link here in the chat. I will try my best afterwards to put it also in the LinkedIn chat. I do apologize. I do not know why I cannot put links here for LinkedIn in this platform. Nonetheless, I'll put it after after the live. Okay, I think those are some of my announcements. I have more, but I'll wait till next week. So again, welcome. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Let me know in the chat where you might be tuning in from today. Hopefully, I can see my comments. I never know you all because of technology. I do love when I can see your comments and see all the lovely things that you all have to share. So hopefully it'll come in at some point. I can't see them yet, but hopefully it'll come in soon. Okay. So yesterday, before I start today's mental health moment, my son and I were filming with Ronnie Green. He is the host of A Fishing Story. Some of you that follow me on social, you already probably saw like the quick recap of it. We had a blast. It was amazing. We were fishing and talking about mental health, talking about how beneficial the outdoors is and nature is. And my son was too. So it was a beautiful moment as a mom and just as a psychologist to obviously spread positive information about mental health. But I share that with you because, and I'll definitely share with you all, by the way, when the episode is live. It is in, I forgot, a lot of different countries. So when the episode is live on television, I would definitely let you all know the information too, so you can tune in. But yesterday was just the filming day. So I share that with you though, because today's mental health moment, in honor of that experience, I really wanted to remind you all of the benefits of spending some time in nature, right? Because as I've said a gazillion times on mental health moment, there are things that are free to do for your self-care, such as spending time in nature, right? So a couple of reminders for you all today. The first thing is that the the benefits of spending time in nature. Well, the first thing is really thinking about, and we've talked about this before on mental health moment, but really thinking about being intentional about resetting your nervous system, you all. Because again, it's easy to get caught up in everything going on around you. It's extremely easy. Trust me, I know from experience. If you haven't read my book, it's all in my book. And I've shared on a gazillion mental health moments, but I get it, to be in the fight or flight, constantly to-do list, what you doing next, like just getting caught up, and your mind gets caught up in that, and your body gets caught up in that too, at least all sorts of things, inflammation and all sorts of things. So instead of that, right, or to take a pause from that, I should say, one of the ways to do that is to spend time in nature. And what I mean by that is doing things that make you happy and that you enjoy in nature, right? So, hey, from St. Louis, Missouri, welcome. Jackson, Tennessee's in the house. Welcome. I just love when I can see y'all's comments. Anyhow, but doing things that you enjoy in nature too. So, yesterday, like I mentioned, we were on we were filming for A Fishing Story, and the host obviously really, really loves fishing, which is a beautiful thing. That may be your thing. Maybe you're like, yeah, I love fishing, or not, right? Or maybe you like just taking a walk outside. That counts, right? That's being in nature. Or maybe you like hiking. Maybe you like swimming in a pool outside. Like whatever your thing is. Maybe I know some of you before. I'm just remembering some of the things you've shared over the years on mental health moment. I know some of you love gardening, like whatever it is that is lit, like outside, okay, like being outside in some form of nature counts. All right. So I live in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. Very easy, obviously, in Florida to find a beach somewhere nearby. But for some of you, you're like, no, a beach is nowhere near me, which is fine. So maybe you're not at the beach, but you might be near a mountain or a lake or a river or a park or something, right? Or maybe it's just taking a walk outside, like just leaving your home, and just taking that short walk wherever that, leads you to, right? So again, just being in the mentality of, thinking about how do you reduce all that stimulation? Like the world, I don't know about you all. Have you all ever felt this way? Like the world is really flooded. We are inundated with information, right? So some of you were all at different ages watching this, But some of you may have grown up without a cell phone, or some of you may have grown up without social media, or I don't know, color television. I don't know, right? Like we're all in different eras. We all grew up in different eras, depending on how old we were. And now, fast forward to today, we are inundated with information, you all. We are like, it's just constant. If you own a cell phone, you are inundated with information, regardless, in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a text message, whether you're checking your emails on there, whether you're on social media, whatever. Like it's right. We're like just sort of constantly inundated with that. So because of that, and our brains aren't really, I would say our brains aren't really wired to be constantly taking in 300,000 pieces of information. So instead, or not instead, but to help with that, because sometimes we're just in certain seasons too where we just have to deal with a lot of information coming at us. But to help with that, then you can think about, okay, how can I be intentional today about spending some time in nature, right? About putting your phone down, right? And maybe, Candace is in the chat. Welcome, welcome. And maybe, you know, what what tends to happen is what I think it tends to happen a lot of times is when you think about spending even a little bit of time in nature and just like giving yourself that permission to spend that time outdoors in some way, shape, or form that you enjoy, and that you like, you'll start to notice you're like, wait a minute, my body is feeling more relaxed. My mind, my whatever it is you're going through, racing thoughts or you can't concentrate or whatever you're going through, your mind is starting to get to a calmer place too, right? Like you'll when you really pay attention to it, you'll start to notice these things. But it is very hard. Again, we're in a constant state of a whole bunch of information being thrown at us. It's hard to live in that and not like step away to do something to be in a calmer state. Um, and hi, Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Let me know where you're tuning in from today in the chat. Atlanta, Georgia's in the chat. Welcome. Oh, we'll be there next. Is it next week? Next week. Yeah. Trying to keep track of my schedule. But welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. If you're just tuning in, well, a couple things. If you're just tuning in, today we're talking about the benefits of spending some time in nature. And for those of you who are like, oh, I hate being outside, maybe like keep in mind that spending time in nature is a very broad thing to do. Um, and it's important that you do things that bring you joy that you like. There's certain things because honestly, living in Florida, there's certain things I really don't like to do outside, especially in the summer when our humidity is through the roof, you all. For those of you who don't live in Florida, extremely humid. So certain things I'm like, you know what? I would prefer not to be outside, during the season. But then certain activities, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm good. Right. So again, you can sort of pick and choose what types of things you do outdoors. But the major thing is to really make that commitment to yourself to spend some sort of time in nature to take the pause, have the permission to pause, and reset your nervous system. Baltimore, Maryland's in the house. Welcome. Michigan's in the house. Welcome. I will be in Michigan tomorrow. But welcome, welcome. Someone said I just picked up golf. I love that. You know what? And that's a thing. I think we talked about this on another mental health moment recently. But that what is really cool also about spending time outdoors in some way, shape, or form, even if you try certain things, you would be surprised. Like certain things, just try new things in whatever way you're able to, and whatever's feasible for you. And you might fall in love with new things. Like we're all at different seasons of our lives, depending on your age, physical abilities, and all that sort of thing. I mean, obviously adjust to what works best for you, but try something new. You know what I mean? And you never know. Like you're always able to develop new and exciting hobbies for you. It doesn't really matter your age per se. It's just a matter of like giving things a try. So I love that. I just picked up golf, right? All good. I love to hear that. So the second, or not the second, but another tip that I wanted to share with you today when it comes to how do you sort of incorporate the spending time in nature is, if for those of you who are not new to mental health moment, I always, always, always talk about taking a minute for yourself minimum. But if you really, again, make that a routine in your life, In that said minute minimum a day that you give to yourself, maybe in there some of the days even of the week, you're like, okay, I'm going to make it my routine to spend some sort of time outside, right? Like that counts too. Even if you're like, I'm just going to step outside of my door, my house for a moment and get some fresh air. We'll take that, right? I'm just going to sit in, I don't know, at a park and just take in, like, work on being present because there's a lot of power in that of just being present, being still, right? Especially if you're in a place where you need to find some sort of clarity for some area of your life. There's a lot of power in being still because we're constantly on the move, y'all. But again, spending those times, like, gosh, for those of you who follow me on Instagram, because I try my best to, because I'm a documenter, because I like to. No, I try to share a lot in my stories. You all know, as much as I travel, like, I will find way. Actually, I don't know if I find the ways or they find me. Things sort of just pop up, but I will just find no matter where I'm at, no matter where I'm at, actually in the globe, I'll find ways to be in nature. Right. So I've traveled to in the US, I've traveled to like 40, I think it's 47 states now, which is insane and beautiful, like gorgeous places, but everywhere had something different. So some places had amazing mountains, right? And I'm like, okay, there's no mountains in Florida, y'all. I wish there was. There's none, zero, absolutely zero. So because there's no mountains here, I love seeing mountains. So then maybe I'll be like, okay, let me go to a park and just sit, be in stillness and look at this mountain, which is, oh my gosh, I've seen so many beautiful, beautiful mountain landscapes. Gorgeous, right? But other places I might have been like, okay, let me just go to some, I don't know, local park or something, right? And it might just be a fountain, or it might be some ducks out there, or birds, or it's something, right? Like just something calming. If you like set your mind to look for those things, they are there, right? And it may not, I don't, it may not be just walking right outside, right? It may be down the street. It may be on a trip. It may be around the corner. I don't know where it's at for you, but they're there, right? Like the opportunities are there. So again, I just want to remind you that to make this a part of your routine as well, right? Make it a part of your routine to say, okay, maybe it's like I said, your minute a day that I'm going to take the time for me to spend some sort of time in nature in stillness. Um, and also let me know in the chat now that I'm sort of seeing the chat kind of goes in and out sometimes. Let me know in the chat. So for those of you who do spend, and it doesn't have to be a huge amount of time, but for those of you who do spend time outdoors, what does that look like for you? Right? In what way do you like to do that? Because someone said, before I picked up golf. But what is it for you? Are you like, I like to take a walk and just spend some time in nature? Do you like to garden? Do you like to swim? Do you like to run? Do you like to hike? Do you like to just step outside, you know, take a break? Like there's not, and let me know in the chat, but there's not, provided it's healthy for you, there's not really a right or wrong answer. And even if you do something, whatever it is that you do, and you're outside in nature, and for you it's calming, but maybe no one else around you wants to do that, it's okay. Like it's okay. You can be the one and only, right? That's all good. So I just want to remind you of that too, because sometimes we have hobbies and interests, and maybe no one around you wants to do any of that, but that's okay. It's okay. You're still alone. The other thing I wanted to remind you of, as I wrap up today's mental health moment, I really want to remind you also to think about taking breaks. There's a ton of research on this, but taking breaks from the screens that you're on, your computer, if you have some sort of tablet, your cell phone, your television. There's so many screens around us. Like I said, there's just so much information that's constantly being poured into us in some way, especially through screens. It's very easy. I don't know about you all, but it's very easy to be scrolling on our phones and just get lost in time sometimes. But if you consciously think about, okay, let me take a break, let me put my phone down. And I'm not going to share how long that is for you because we're all at a different place in our wellness journey. For some people, I know they're like, I need a break from my phone or whatever, social media phone or whatever for 30 days, which I'm like, that's amazing. Right. I haven't quite done that, nor do I want to do that. But if that's what you need, then you take that. Or maybe it's just a day, or maybe it's a half day. Where is it? And then maybe it's not your phone, maybe it's your television, maybe it's your tablet, wherever. Take an assessment for you to think about, okay, where is it that I know I need to start limiting my time with my screens? And maybe during those times or part of those times, instead, I'm just getting outside. Like I'm just getting some sunlight in some way, shape, or form, or just doing something that brings you joy. We're allowed to have joy, you all. Someone said, I walk my dog, especially near the water. I love that. Yeah. And for those of you who have pets, or I guess, more like, yeah, dogs, or just again, being outside with a pet, with, whatever, if it's a pet, or maybe it's another person, you have a walking partner, or whatever it is, all of it counts, all of it matters. It is training your brain to be intentional in how you take care of yourself, right? Mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And some of you will have, I don't know, there's certain ways to spend time in nature where you can actually hit all four of those, right? So let's say you took I don't know, I'm just making something up, a mile walk, right? That, well, obviously it's going to help you in some way physically. It may be, depending on what you said to yourself during that walk, maybe you said affirmations. I've done that before, you all, actually, which was interesting. I listened to I don't know, something I found on Instagram, but I listened to some affirmations during, I think it was like 2 miles or something like that. When I did a walk, I was also listening to affirmations, trying to feed my mind positive things. So maybe you can try that during your walk, which will help you work on training your brain to help you mentally. Maybe it's emotionally, you working on reducing your stress level as you walk, right? Work on managing your emotions, especially if you had a hard day. Maybe you're angry today. Maybe you're sad today. Maybe you're nervous today. Maybe you're happy today. I mean, there's a lot of range of emotions, but sometimes we have to really manage our emotions, and one of the ways you can do that is through taking a walk, let's say. So then you right, we did the physical, emotional, mental, and maybe spiritually. For some of you, whatever your spiritual beliefs may or may not be, that might be a time you're like, you know what, I need to connect with my higher power. All right. So again, there's many ways to do this, but I was just giving you the example of a walk that sometimes it's not just for one area of your life. It really can help you in multiple areas as well. Um, Someone said, "Read a good book. Love your time to grow your mind." I love that. I absolutely love that. Yes, like, so for those of you, because again, we take in information in different ways, which is fine. Well, some of you are my podcasters, right? Like you want to listen to your podcast, which is perfect. Maybe you're on that walk, like I mentioned, or whatever it is you're doing, and you're listening to a podcast. Maybe someone said just reading a book. Maybe you want to just sit outside for a second and read a book, or maybe you have, I don't know, you want to read or listen to an audiobook or whatever form it is. But again, that's why I asked you all, and thank you for sharing, you all, by the way, in the chat, like just some of the ways that you like to spend time in nature, or some of the ways you like to spend in self-care, because I wanted to remind you that this is not a right or wrong answer, provided it's healthy. Okay. I mean, there's ways to do self-care that's like really bad for your health. So not them ways, not those ways, but the healthy ways. Provided it's healthy, again, do what works best for you. Um, oh, I love that. Someone said, I recently bought a house that allows various nature views. I wanted to be intentional in the space I return to after work. I wake up to a view of trees behind me. That's so beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I love that. And that's so cool. That's so cool because again, and you know what though, but you're being intentional. Even like someone was saying, like they bought the house and it has like beautiful nature views. You could just, close everything off, not pay attention to that, just go about your day, week, months, years, right? Be really busy, but you are being intentional of saying, let me take that in, right? Let me take in what's around me. Um, good evening to you as well. Let me take in, what's happening around me. Let me take in those nature views. You all, the first thing I do, by the way, for those of you who tune into Mental Health Moment, I'm always on the road and doing something or another. So the first thing I do, you all, when I travel and I get to hotels, and if you do follow me on Instagram, you already know because I usually put it in my stories. But the first thing I do when I get to that hotel room is I go straight to the window because I got to see what the view is. And not all the time. Sometimes the views are just horrible. I just close the curtains back. I'll be like, never mind. But if they are beautiful views, then I'm usually sharing it with you all on Instagram, on the stories. Because just as I'm teaching you all today to, again, I don't know, it's hard, maybe it's hard to explain, but it is really a mental, like it's a mindset shift to really think about how do you incorporate self-care into your day? How do you find the ways? Are you, like someone said, like looking out a window? Sometimes we take that for granted. Well, like look at the sunset, sunrise, whatever you're into. Look at the birds outside. Look at the trees. I don't know, like whatever brings you joy, right? Look at flowers that are blooming when they do. Not right now, it's ridiculously hot in Florida. But for those of you who have seasons, where you live, and you can see the differences between, spring and fall and those sort of things, like just again, whatever it is that brings you joy, that is really, really important for your mental health. It helps you in so many ways. I can go on and on. I'm wrapping up today's mental health moment, but it helps you in so many ways. There are literally hormones that are released in your body, positive hormones released in your body when you do things that bring you joy, like spending time in nature. So just remember again to make sure that you are being intentional, living intentionally, and really trying to your best to make this a regular routine in your life. Okay. And thank you all for sharing again in the chat. So as I wrap up today's mental health moment, because again, I do have to go finish packing. I really wish I really wish I had someone to pack my bags right now. I'm not gonna lie, in all honesty. But since I do not, and I gotta go pack my own suitcase right now, I'll be hopping off this mental health moment to go pack for my flight that's in the morning. But nonetheless, again, so if you tuned in a little bit late today, just a reminder, you can go to takeyourmentalreset.com. I have recently opened up a free community. It's the Mental Reset community, where we will work, all the things I teach on mental health moment. What's happened over the years, over the decade that I've been doing this is I'm here with you every week, which I love to be, but then I go bye and then I come back next week and then it, anyways, there's a lot of conversations in between that time. So I figured let's all meet as a community and again find ways to practice all the things that I'm saying on mental health moment in that community. And I really hope that as this community builds, it's brand new, just a couple members so far. But my hope for you is that again you can just have a safe space, practice because it is a practice sometimes with other people, how to make sure you're being intentional in your life, how to make sure you're taking your minute, right? So in that community, we're gonna be like, did you take your minute today? Right. And then if you want to discuss mental health moment and all the things that we talk about here in that community, you can do that as well. Just it's a lot of check-ins, it's a lot of support. And my goal is to make it a very safe community for everyone. So to really practice all these things because I care about you and really, 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 really want you all to live your best lives. Okay, so I really am wrapping up. So those are all my announcements for the LinkedIn community. Right after this, I promise I will drop the link to the Leadership Experience Tour if you want to grab a virtual ticket, unless you're in Detroit area. That I'll be speaking at this Saturday, August 8th. And I do apologize for the replay on YouTube. By the time this is on YouTube, I do apologize that it'll be past August 8th. So I'm so sorry. But if you are listening live, I'll put the link in there if you want to grab a virtual ticket. We'd love to see you all there. Dayton, Ohio's in the house. Welcome. Okay, wrapping up. So I will be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Be blessed. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you all next week. Bye, guys.